My name is Emily White. I'm 16 and in grade 11. It's been really hard with everything sort of changing all the time and never really knowing what's ever going on with school or the world.
My name's Benjamin Stockert. I'm in 8th grade. I'm 14 years old. It was very hard for me being in the pandemic lockdown, and I wasn't able to cope with it.
My name's Serena Sri. I'm 17 years old in grade 12. The pandemic has been pretty kind of unsettling. It's always just bias on like the rules changing, and it's always just really confusing for us as high schoolers.
In his tongue. Whose tongue?
I go to an art school in the drama program. It's a very lively place. There's always people doing something, and we're always working closely with other people in other classes, and all of that kind of thing has had to pretty much stop. So our creativity has taken a bit of a hit.
And let him who moved you hither remove you hence.
When I'm performing, I feel energized most of the time. It's exciting for me to have the bright lights in my face and just sort of feel the energy of the audience and get to perform the thing I've worked so hard to create and make the best I think it can be. When I can't perform, it causes anxiety and it just makes me down. My mental health has been going down for a little while, starting in March 2020. My anxiety got really bad and it was starting to really affect me. A really bad day for me looks like hard to get out of bed in the morning. Everything is just sort of slow, and then it's nauseous on the way to school, and sometimes it's hard to breathe on those days, and I can't focus at all. I've been having panic attacks, which are awful. They can come on over the course of a while. Sometimes they come on very suddenly, and you just sort of feel like you're dying because you can't breathe. Your heart is racing and beating out of your chest. The anxiety does scare me because it could manifest itself in a number of ways at any given moment with no real notice or noticeable trigger. And it's kind of terrifying to think that that could happen at any time and just interrupt whatever is happening.
I've been feeling a little upset, depressed, and kind of lonely not seeing my friends all the time. When I'm feeling anxious, I usually kind of bite my fingernails and usually tap my foot against the ground. On a bad day in the pandemic would usually look like me not getting out of bed to go to school online, or even opening up my computer to do any sort of schoolwork. I worry about my future and playing sports. I felt like I was going to lose some of my friends because I don't talk to them. I play baseball. It just makes me feel happy and enjoy. When I couldn't play baseball, it made me feel frustrated that I trained for a season and it just all goes to waste.
The hardest part is knowing that grade 9 was my only year of actual high school, so I didn't really get the whole high school experience. But my mental health has been impacted. I'm a very social person, and to not be able to, talk to my peers and be able to do school events that I've personally loved was really hard to get adjusted to. On a bad day, I would usually just be sleeping in my room. I didn't want to leave my room. I was very isolated. I didn't even talk to my mom some days. That's not really of my character, and I'm not really like that. So to see that the pandemic really turned me into that kind of person was a really big shock to me.
At this point, I just hope for one normal year of high school. I want my senior year to be the one year where I don't have to worry about social distancing or masks or the school musical being canceled.
I hope for in the pandemic that it just comes to an end. In terms of baseball, I want to be playing games every week in the summer and not getting it interrupted because of COVID or the pandemic.
At this point, I just hope I get back to somewhat of a normal year. It is hard to just say I want to go back to normal because of the circumstances, but I would hope that it would be easier now.